Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Heather Ione. I am a spiritual life coach and I am a manifestation teacher. You might know me from my podcast, Wild Manifestations. I also have a website, heatherione.com, and I create manifestation masterclasses and courses and all of those things. The sole purpose behind all the work that I do is to help people, especially women, to become a deliberate creator of their life. And the way that I do that is by teaching people how to use the law of attraction and manifestation so that it actually works. And I teach them content that most people don't talk about when it comes to manifestation and the law of attraction, which is why most people don't actually find success with it. So I teach people how to actually use the law of attraction and manifestation. And I also teach people how to overcome different limiting beliefs, mental blocks, self-sabotaging behaviors, feelings of unworthiness, all of those types of things that keep us stuck and prevent us from becoming a deliberate creator of our lives. They prevent us from creating the life that we want to create and pursuing our life's purpose and our passion and really creating a life that excites us. I also help people to raise their energetic vibration through lifestyle and wellness practices, as well as essential oils and things like that. And I also help people to do a lot of self-discovery work and inner work to connect them to their highest self and their intuition. So if you are not familiar with the work that I do, that is a little bit about me. And today's podcast episode, today's YouTube video is something a little bit different and a little bit unexpected. I honestly did not know that I was going to be creating this YouTube video today, which is why my hair is a mess. It's not washed. I'm wearing a t-shirt, all that jazz, but we're just going with it. Today I was actually on a one-on-one call with a monthly mentorship client of mine. And we were talking about oracle cards, and she was telling me that she has been using the same oracle card deck for about a year now. She's been using it since last Christmas. And she said that she absolutely loves it. She's been using it all the time, but now she's just burnt out with the deck and she just gets the same cards all the time. She knows the description book by heart and she's really just looking for something different. She said that she had gone to a lot of metaphysical shops and she's also been looking online and she just couldn't find one that really resonated with her. And she was just saying that she was struggling to find a new deck. And I was like, well, would it help you if I walked you through some of my oracle card decks? And she was like, yeah, actually, that would be really helpful. So I walked her through all of my decks. I showed her images of the decks and stuff like that. And at the end, I was like, oh, that was kind of fun. It was like a little oracle card deck tour. And she was like, yeah, a lot of people do YouTube videos of oracle deck tours. She's like, you should do one of those. And I was like, oh, okay. So I actually just got off of that client session right now. And I thought, well, it's fresh in my mind, I would do that. So today is a spur of the moment YouTube video. And I'm just going to walk you through 9 oracle card decks. I think these are pretty much all of the oracle card decks that I have. Some of these I use more than others, but I just wanted to show you guys this deck because I'm sure a lot of people out there are struggling to find a deck that really resonates with them too. And I know when I am looking for a new deck, it's really hard when you're just looking at pictures on Amazon and stuff like that and you just don't know which one to get. So today I'm going to show you all of my oracle card decks. I'm going to talk to you about them, show you pictures of some of the cards and stuff like that. So I hope you like this video. If you do, give it a thumbs up. And if you ever need help, if you ever need one-on-one support, please reach out to me for one-on-one coaching. That is really how I best serve people. You can also check out my podcast, Wild Manifestations. Head over to my website, all that kind of stuff. I create resources all the time to help people raise their vibration, use the law of attraction properly, all that kind of stuff. So make sure you check that out. But anyways, thank you for joining me today and let's get into the video. So I'm just going to go over these in no particular order, but I am going to start with the number 1 deck that I use the most. And it is the Healing with the Fairies Oracle card deck. It's a lot of the boxes of mine are a little bit faded because for the longest time I kept them on my windowsill. So some of the colors are not as vivid, but that's what it looks like. The reason why I'm showing this one first is because this is the deck that I mainly use on my client sessions. Whenever I'm closing a one-on-one session, especially with my monthly mentorship clients, I always do a 3-card spread. So I use this one because it really resonates with everyone, and it has a lot of, I don't want to say basic, but almost simple messages that every single person can relate to, and not all decks are like that. So it has cards like parenting and children, body movement, letting go, trust your intuition, new location, problem resolved, inner child, peace of mind, raising your standards. So I feel like this deck, like make music, laughter, follow your dreams, all that kind of stuff, it really helps people because the messages just make a lot of sense to everyone. So I feel like this is also a really good beginner's deck too, because everyone resonates with it. It's not really focusing on a certain spirituality. It's not too out there. It's really easy for everyone to understand. The deck looks like this. It's really pretty. And then I'm going to show you some of the cards as well. That way you can see them a little bit better. But that's what they look like. I think they look really beautiful. I love these. I love how colorful they are, how vivid they are. So this is the deck that I pretty much use all the time. And I also turn to it when I feel like I just want a really quick message. So I definitely would recommend that one. And by the way, I'll also put links to these as well in the description box if you want to see where you can find them. This one, the next one I'm going to show you, I'm really excited about because this is my brand new Oracle deck. I haven't even used it yet, but I think this is the most beautiful one out of all of my decks. I'm so excited about it. It's by Annie Tarasova. The last one was by Doreen Virtue, but this girl, she's an artist and she creates a lot of like books and journals and artwork and all sorts of stuff like that. I've been following her on Instagram for years, and she just came out with this Oracle card deck, and holy shit, it's beautiful. Oh my goodness. It is my absolute favorite deck because it's all purple and black and sparkly and silver. Oh my gosh, like all of the images on here are just so beautiful. And I also really like this one too because these also have very simple messages. So I haven't even pulled from this deck yet, but I think this might actually be probably my new favorite deck to use in the future, because this has like very simple messages as well, like flow, gratitude, remember who you are, your wish is coming true, set intentions, like things that everyone can resonate with pretty much. So I think I'm going to start probably using this on client sessions as well, but it's gorgeous. I absolutely love this. So this is my new favorite deck. Oh, I feel like maybe you guys want to see like the books of these decks too. Maybe I should be showing that. Okay, so this is what the book looks like for this one. And there's also very simple descriptions in here too. So I like that because sometimes you just want a simple message. You just want a quick Oracle card pull. You don't want anything too long. It has the meaning, it has an exercise, and it also has affirmations, which I love because whenever I send out my growth work emails to my clients at the end of our session, I always send them an affirmation too to help them with whatever they're going through. So I love it when these decks like have a message to share with them, but then they also have an affirmation because they're so helpful for people. And usually whenever I do a pull, people are like, oh my God, that affirmation is exactly what I need right now. So I love it when the decks do that. The book for this one, the last one that I showed you, the descriptions look like this. So again, they're pretty simple. They're not too long. They talk a lot about the fairies, but it's not too woo-woo, it's not too out there. I feel like this is a good book for everyone, even if you don't necessarily believe in fairies. So those are the first two. The Healing with the Fairies one is the first deck that I ever used. And then this one is the Angel Therapy deck by Doreen Virtue. And this is the first one that I ever received, and it was gifted to me. So it was the first one that I actually owned, and I used it all the time for a while there. So I'm going to show you what some of the cards look like. There's a lot of angels on them. And again, like the messages are pretty simple, like crown chakra, be willing to forgive, singing and dancing, solar plexus, Archangel Michael, vacuum away fear, you are a powerful light worker, crystals, visualize success, all that kind of stuff. So I feel like this is really helpful for a lot of people too. And I used this card or this deck for a very long time, especially at the beginning of, was it last year or at the beginning of 2020? It was the beginning of 2020, but I actually stopped using them because, so at the time I was writing my book, which I stopped writing because I couldn't get the outline and the structure the way I wanted it to look. And I was writing my book, and I was also planning my first workshops and seminars. And every single day, whenever I did a poll, the cards workshops, seminars, book, you are meant to write a book, you are meant to hold workshops and seminars, and the card law of attraction would always come up, which was so good. It felt so cool to constantly receive that message and pull up those cards because I knew I was on the right path. But at the same time, I was like, okay, I'm not pulling any other cards. And it gets a little bit frustrating when you're like trying to get new guidance, but like the same cards keep coming up over and over and over again. So I don't typically use this one. This one also is kind of more about like, it's kind of more for like healers and light workers, like people who really want to be in this space, because I feel like the description in some of the cards, like mediumship, like you're meant to write a book, you're meant to host workshops and seminars, like it is very specific. I feel like, well, not specific, but it really leans towards people who do the same kind of work as me. So I feel like maybe it's not the right deck for everyone. And I like this because there's like a little description, and then there's also the action steps, and a lot of them are like prayers for you to do when you're doing the pull. And like a lot of it is like speaking to Archangel Michael. So maybe that's why I haven't completely resonated with this sometimes, because I never, at this point, I am not super into all of the archangels. So I feel a little bit odd like calling upon them. I would rather call upon like my highest self or my guides or something like that, or source. So calling upon like archangels, I don't know, I don't typically do that. The next one that I have, you guys are probably familiar with this one. I probably won't even go over it too much, but it's the Work Your Light Oracle card deck, and this is by Rebecca Campbell. A lot of people have this one. This is so freaking popular, but it's very beautiful. And this is actually a deck that I stopped using as well. Well, I still use it, but not as frequently, because every time I pull out of this deck, I get the cards Don't Dim to Fit In, Lemuria, and what is it? Ever Unfolding Rose. And I don't even like resonate with those ones. So I'm like, what is going on? Why do I always get these cards? I was just talking about that with my client today, and we were like laughing about how the same cards always come up for us. So that's kind of why I don't typically use this one, because I like more messages that are kind of like to the point and a little bit more like they can resonate with everyone. And like the Lemuria card, for example, says like you might have had a past life in Lemuria, and I'm like, I just don't resonate with that. But there are some really good cards in here, and they are very, very beautiful. So I just love to look at like the artwork of these cards. Like I could just look at them all day. They're absolutely beautiful. So this is what the guidebook looks like when you open it up. And it's pretty simple, nothing too crazy. It describes like what came up on the card, but then there's always a little inquiry. So it asks you things like who or what is triggering you, what is it in you that they are triggering, what part of you longs to be witnessed. I ask my clients those questions sometimes. I like those. Don't dim to fit in. This is the one that always comes up for me. So it asks, how are you dimming your light in order to fit in? And I personally don't feel like I dim to fit in. Like, I pretty much do whatever I want. Like, I got rid of the fear of what other people think of me a long time ago. So that's why I don't necessarily resonate with that card. The Crumbling, that's a really good card. What are you clinging to for fear of nothing coming to take its place? And it's a really beautiful card too. So it is stunning. People love it. Everyone uses it. I just haven't connected with it as much as a lot of people have, I think. So the next one I'm going to show you is one of my favorites. And it is the White Light Oracle deck by Alana Fairchild. And this one was also gifted to me too. I love this one. It is so beautiful. So I'm just gonna quick show you what these look like. Like, oh, look at that back. It's so beautiful. And the artwork is literally just stunning on this deck. The one thing though is like the cards, like when you pull them up, you have absolutely no idea what they mean. You know, like Perfume of Sophia, Tantra of 639 Hertz. Like it says things that aren't like intuitive. Like you kind of have to read the book in order to understand what it's talking about. But aren't these just freaking beautiful? Oh my goodness. I love this one. I get this card sometimes. There's a really good message behind it. So that's kind of what these look like. Ooh, this is one of my favorites too. It's really pretty. Oh, this is a good one. Spirit Owl. I just got that one recently. So that's kind of what the cards look like. And then when you go into the guidebook, I really like it because it gives you like 3 pages for every single card that you pull. So it looks like there's like 3 or 4 pages for every single one. And every page describes, oh, and then on the back, see, that's the healing process. So there were 4 pages for that one card. So it does like a quick little blurb, and then it goes into like the story and the meaning behind the card and shares like some legends and stuff like that. It's just really beautiful. And then there's like a whole healing practice that you can do. So it tells you like certain frequencies that you could listen to. There's a lot of advice in this one. And that's why I really like it, because when I feel like I really want something a little bit more deep and meaningful, I want more information from my guides, that's when I go to this deck, because it just gives me so much. But I wouldn't say this is a good deck for beginners or someone who hasn't done oracle cards before. I made the mistake of letting my boyfriend's mom, she wanted to try oracle cards, so I gave her this deck because I knew she would like really like the artwork and stuff, so I let her use it. And then she's like, oh my god, that was so much, that was so intense, like I probably should have used a different deck. And I was like, oh gosh, I kind of messed up there. So it was a little bit intense for her. It's a lot at once. That's why I don't do it every day. I really only do it when I want more guidance and I want to like sit there and take like a half an hour to really absorb what the description and what the cards are telling me. But that's why I really like this deck, is because it, you know, kind of gives me that option to really sit and think about what the cards are saying and have like a more immersive practice with it. So that's why the White Light Oracle is actually one of my favorite decks. Another one, this is like brand new as well, I just got it about 2 weeks ago, is The Secret Language of Light. And it is by Denise Jarvie. And this one was also gifted to me too by my coach. I just got Reiki attuned, so she sent me this with my attunement with like some crystals and stuff like that. And these cards are very beautiful too and very colorful. I'm into the color. If you follow me on Instagram and stuff like that, then you know I love the color. So They're very, very vivid and colorful cards, which I like. The only thing that I don't like about this deck is that some of the cards are like vertical and some of them are horizontal. And like my OCD is just not a fan of that. So that's the one thing that I don't really like. But the cards themselves, they have good messages. Nothing has gone wrong, meditation, soulmate, color, soul song. So they have like beautiful messages, divine masculine and feminine and stuff like that. So I feel like I should probably spend a little bit more time with them. And then the guidebook looks like this. And then there are about, oh, there's little illustrations in the guidebook too. That's kind of cool. So like this is a card, number 21, Soul Tree. And then there's a meditation, inspired action, and journal work in this one. So that actually looks pretty good. And then there's a little illustration. I think I only used this once actually. So I haven't spent much time with this one, but I wanted to show you all of them in case you looked at this one and you really resonated with it and loved the artwork and stuff like that. So I really like that this gives you more to do. So I feel like if you're really craving like extra support and guidance, this is probably a really good deck for you too. So that is the Secret Language of Light Oracle deck. And then I have one more Oracle deck, and then I have 2 affirmations decks. So then the last Oracle deck that I have is Whispers of Love. And the reason why I got this one, I didn't really get it for myself. I got it more for my clients that are dealing with more emotional issues and stuff like that. Like things in their relationships or relationship trauma. I just wanted like a message that was more geared to relationships and love, whereas the other ones are more geared to like your soul's purpose, your calling, the work that you're meant to be doing, stuff like that. And this is more focused on all like the love and relationships and stuff. So there are like certain clients I bring this deck out for specifically. And I really like it too because the cards, they remind me of like a fairy tale, you know? Like they just look like a fairy tale, and like you can just tell someone put so much effort in designing these and like putting all sorts of detail into them. So that's what they look like. And I'm gonna show you the book as well. I know this is kind of fast, but I'm pretty sure YouTube videos have to be like under a half an hour or something like that, at least when I've tried uploading them. And then there's about a page description for each one. So that's what they look like. Like listen to your heart, like attracts like, back to what you love, you are limitless, simple acts of kindness, be willing to express love, love who you are, slow down, treasure your loved ones, look for your inner strength. So miracles and blessings, have faith, a lot of really good messages. So it's still a good deck. I feel like this is just a little bit more specific to relationships. And this one is by Angela Hartfield. So those are all of my Oracle card decks. And then I also have 2 affirmations decks as well. I have the Universe Has Your Back and Spirit Oracle. I don't typically use this because I prefer more messages from my guides. Like I prefer a little bit more information, but I know a lot of people absolutely love the Universe Has Your Back deck because again, like they're just so beautiful and they look so Instagram worthy. I'm always like seeing these in people's Instagram stories. A lot of people like to pull one of these in the morning just to get an affirmation for the day. So like for example, this one says, I'm unapologetic about what I desire and trust that what I focus on will grow. That's a good one. The more energy and intention I bring to my faith, the more fearless and free I am. There is nothing sexier than my authentic truth. I like that one. I'm really into purple right now for some reason. True healing occurs when I give myself permission to feel whatever feelings live below the triggers. Ooh, I gotta send a photo of this to my client that I had today. Very relevant. So there's no guidebook for this one. It's just like a quick little message. So this is by Gabrielle Bernstein. A lot of people are very familiar with her and that deck. I see it all the time. And then this one is the Spirit Oracle deck. And this is by Tony. What is that? I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that last name. I'm gonna butcher it. People are gonna be mean about it in the comments, you know. But this is what this deck looks like. It's not the same on like one side. You just pull like one of them, or maybe you can do more of like a shuffle with this deck, and it gives you a message like new direction, for example. And then there's a quick little blurb actually on the back of it. So there's no guidebook for this. It's just all kind of on the cards. I also love how colorful this deck is too. They're really beautiful. Like this one, ooh, reflection, that looks so cool. So that's what they look like. And on the back it says, reflect upon, bless, and be grateful for all of the beautiful times in your life. Give thanks for the many blessings you receive each day. You can connect energetically to those you love. Simply feel them inside of your heart. Life is beautiful. So that's an example of this deck. Those are all of the Oracle decks that I have. I hope that you found this helpful, and I hope that maybe you saw a deck that really resonated with you, one that you really enjoyed the artwork, you really enjoyed like the messages that it shared and stuff like that. I know this was like kind of fast, but I wanted to get all of the decks in there in under half an hour. If you have any questions about these specific decks, make sure to reach out in the comments and I will definitely respond and help you as best as I can. Anyways, thank you so much for watching today, and you can also find more information on my website, on Pinterest, on Instagram, all that kind of stuff. I'm always creating more content about the law of attraction. My podcast is a really, really great place to go to for manifestation and law of attraction content, because I really dive deep into it and I share all of the things that people typically do not talk about the law of attraction. So if you're someone who's looking for more information, please head over there. If you are wanting more one-on-one support and guidance, you can always reach out to me. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I guess I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye-bye.